Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Risa Eldon, and I'm the head of community here at Houzz. I'm joined with Bryan Payne from Many Mansions, a project management company based out of Arizona. Today, we are going to be discussing how Bryan leverages Houzz Pro to run his business, and we'll be offering up some creative tips and tricks. Houzz Pro offers an end-to-end solution that empowers home remodeling and builder professionals to stand out, win more clients, and manage your projects more efficiently and more profitably. So thank you, Bryan, for being here with us today.
Yeah, for sure. This is fun.
It's so great to understand how another pro is using the technology and implementing it into their business. So let's kick this off with talking about something really exciting, leads. When they're coming into your pipeline and kind of how you manage the communication from the get-go and the start of your project.
Yeah, totally. Obviously, that is the biggest help in my business is the leads platform, because at this time, I only use Houzz Pro for bringing in leads. I don't do any other advertising. And so when I get a new lead, it either comes in as I get a text from Houzz, or I have the Houzz concierge call me directly and connect me just live right there with the lead that's actively looking. Or I have the Houzz Pro app on my phone, and I'll go in there and I can message the lead directly. And so I usually, click on it right away just to see all the details. Like on the Houzz Pro here, I will go to leads. I'll check. Usually the newest one is right at the top. I'll come in here. It'll show their name. It'll have some client information already on here, as well as right in the messages. Usually has a list of the stuff they're already looking for. So it'll, if they're wanting to build a new house, then they'll show the size of house they're looking for, the dollar amount, what level of finishes they want, whether they're super budget friendly or they're like, I want luxury, that'll all be right here in their details already. And then I can message them back directly right here and just, say, hey, yeah, let's talk more about this. So that's super helpful.
Awesome. And just a PSA that this is not Bryan's account. This is a dummy account. Yes. So it doesn't have all of his information. So bear with us, but we definitely want to show you how Bryan has leveraged this lead CRM. He's created his own custom templates. So instead of him taking the time every time a lead contacts him to type out that same message, like, sorry, not interested, or hey, sounds great, here's a link to my calendar. He leverages these templates that are pre-populated. Yep. And that link, when you click into the link for his calendar, it gives the potential client a link to his calendar. And then that goes on to Bryan's calendar. And you can even use a video link, so you don't have to separately embed a video link. So the efficiency there is key, especially, Bryan, as we talked about earlier, because you're out in the field, you're on the go. As much time as you can save automating these processes is going to help you make more money, right?
Yes. No, totally. And that's what I love about this, because I use templates almost every time to respond to my leads. So they have some common ones in here that I've used before, just depending on the client. But oftentimes, like there's schedule a meeting, you can just select the template and you can create this yourself. So it says, hi, Tony Stark here. It says, thank you so much for reaching out. And you have your calendar link in here. Some I have more formal, some I have more lengthy, some I have a link to my website. But basically you can set it up to have, the client's name automatically put in here. And so they'll get the message that's personalized to them, which goes a lot farther. And then what's awesome is, like this, you can click on the calendar link for them and it'll just open up right in here, and they'll be able to click a time, and move forward, and you'll get the notification. And so what's nice is, you don't always have to give them like a Zoom link. Like you can do the video meetings right on here. You can do a phone call right on here. And so, yeah, I use that every time. And here's a good example too. It's just some of the details that come through when they they do it. So I was at the zoo. This is a fun story. I was at the zoo the other day with my kids, and I got a lead come through, and I just like open up my app, click the template, and hit send, and it was like bam, bam. That lead was responded to immediately, and then they messaged back right away and wanted to call for later that day, and I just said, "Yep, let's do it." And so it was just super quick, and I could like still focus on what I was doing, which made it really nice.
That's the true definition of multitasking at the zoo with your kids, responding to, especially right now, because we know we have to especially entertain our kids, and being able to work. And we know that response time to leads is very important. Right now, people are eager to get going with their projects, get started. And there's a lot of people out there that they can reach out to, but the people that they're going to want to potentially work with are the ones that respond to them quickest and have this really beautiful presentation for them, have this automated system. Everybody's at home, they have time. So speed is essential, and in an organized fashion. And it sounds like that's what Houzz Pro is really doing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Cool. Okay. So lead management, do you also use the lead stages here? So I personally love the organization here of like being able to organize them for review, follow up. So the biggest thing, let's say at the beginning of the pandemic, right? When things closed down, it's April, March, I can't even remember those times. And maybe you had stuff in the works and people weren't necessarily getting back to you right away. That lead stage, and talk to us about the snooze functionality. I don't know if you use that not pre-pandemic, but during the pandemic, just to remember to get back to people, because sometimes it's hard to remember if you're a one-man show, if you don't have somebody that just manages your leads, to remember to respond to potential clients.
Yeah, totally. And I do use that a lot, because when it comes to you, it comes as a for review stage, and it tells you, lead changed, and then you can put in the follow-up stage. Once you message them, it'll automatically move it to follow-up for you. And then it'll put it in your queue, and it'll tell you like how long it's been since you followed up with them, which is incredibly handy. I try to follow up at least once a week with my new leads, and then once a month, once they're, a couple weeks to a month old. And then if they set a meeting or I set a meeting with them, we can move it to meeting stage, and then I can put it in the estimate stage so that they know I'm actually working on an estimate for them. And I know that this one's important and I need to get this one done right away. So, and it shows it back in here in the lead stage too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So you can change it right with all your leads right here. You can see exactly like this one's in the estimate stage. So I need to do that one. And then you can also like snooze this lead, and it basically says, bring it up a week, a month, or, 3 months from now. And you can restart that conversation with them, because a lot of these times when they're doing big projects or they're spending a lot of money, they want to think about it, but you get in the door right away. And then, but if they're not ready right away, then, they will be ready eventually. So
I love that. I love that. And also, if you want to import leads from another source, you can totally use that tool to import those leads. You can embed the Gmail extension so that the leads flow in right there as well. So just trying to make it easy for you to really capture all the leads and get back to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super helpful. And also too, I love how you can convert like all the information from your leads. Like once they're ready to go, you can convert them into a one. Like as you won the bid or won the estimate, you can convert them directly into a project, and all the information transfers immediately. So I use that.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so that's lead management. Now, since you're closing every deal, every lead that comes in, Bryan, talk to me about the next flow for you. Once you've won this lead, what does it look like? What does your process look like?
So basically, I will convert them at that time into a project, which is, the one, they'll be under the one category, but also on the left-hand side, all the ones that are active projects are in here. I'll go to projects and it'll pull them up right at the top. And so the ones you've gone into the most will be right at the top. And then the rest of the projects will all be down here. And you can create one too, in case you didn't have one come in through the lead stage. You can create one with all the details in there as well. But they come in and now they're a project. They're under your projects. And then it opens up a lot more options here as well. Like for each lead, it's now obviously a client. And so you can do a ton of different stuff here.
Wow. Okay. I like the little digest it gives you too.
Yeah. So one thing I love about this is I build all my estimates here for my clients, like as I project manage custom homes for usually it's a husband-wife team. And so I'll go in and build an estimate here. And I can start from scratch and just do line item by line item, or I can upload a previous one I've used. I also have some templates in my own house that I can use, but it's previous ones that I've already gone through and built out and kind of tweaked a little bit, so I know I'm dead on with my numbers, and I can just send that to the new clients here. Like for this one, any saved estimate I build is right here. What I love about this, it has them all detailed out with the quantity, the units, the material, the labor, any markup I add, and then the total. And then if I need to add tax on a specific item, I can, or I can include tax at the bottom for one lump sum down here. But it's all editable. You can click on everything. And then this is the best part. When you have an estimate, you can actually send it out digitally and it'll go straight to their email. They can open it up in kind of a Houzz Pro platform and approve it or decline it right there. They can sign it and it'll get sent back to you. It gives you a little activity of exactly when and where, the document's been tracked, when it was created, and if it's been signed. So I absolutely love that feature, like built in.
That seems super efficient, and having everything all in one place.
Yes, it's huge.
And I think it makes you look super professional to your clients as well.
It does. Yeah. And so do you want me to talk about timeline and messages too?
Yes, please. I'm excited.
Okay. So what I do, like overview obviously shows the whole lead. Like that's now a client. I keep saying that, but they're obviously now a client once they've gone from lead to the project stage. And so it keeps this is like your own dashboard is what you're seeing here. But you can go into messages and literally see everything you guys have communicated back and forth from the beginning. Obviously people love to text as well, but I try to keep all my communication right here in the messages.
Great.
Yeah.
Texting can get scary, right? That can go down a negative.
And they'll text at all times of day and all hours. And it's like, if you always try to redirect them back in here, like not only will it just keep you sane, it like organizes and tracks the day, the message, the time, everything that was said. So you can go back and say, actually, you wanted this color on, for the door and, that kind of thing. And they're like, oh yeah, that's good. And it just categorizes it all for you. So I love that. And then the next feature I use a lot for every project is timeline. And so this is super helpful. Even if you just do like 4 categories, like the ones on here, just a broad picture of what's happening with the project. That goes a long ways with the client. You can also just do super detailed things as well. It just depends on the project and what they want. You can change the views on this on however you want to do it. But everything's super simple here. You just move the dates. Like if something got delayed, it changes it all to here. It shows you the weekends, the business days. You can go into each one of these items and change the days as well. Location, the colors, delete it, whatever. So this is incredibly helpful, not just from my perspective, but once I, have all this built out, like the timeline, we have messages, the estimates in there. What I do is I share the client dashboard. And basically this gives you a snapshot of what they'll see. So your whole project is sent to them in an email, and they have this link all the time. So when we were talking about like texting back and forth like crazy, like this solves that problem a lot of the times because they can go here and find out all the information they need because the timeline is built in right here. The messages, all the tasks, and then the financials. So like if they've paid for an invoice or they have one open-ended, it'll show them.
That makes sense. I think one of the biggest things from talking to you and other professionals like yourself, what leads to a successful project is clear communication and budget, right? And this seems to become the Bible of your project, where your client can check in. They want to know what's happening, and this makes your job easier. So you don't have to constantly be communicating with them. They dog ear or bookmark this link. They can log in real-time view and see what's happening with the status of their project. And that makes them feel secure. And like we all know there's crazy delays right now. There's crazy increases in costs of labor and materials, but this makes them feel in control. And I think, like we discussed, that enables you to have a successful project, and that leads to happy clients. Happy clients refer you to other clients. So it's kind of this amazing domino effect that will help you if you're leveraging a technology like Houzz Pro.
Yeah. And every time I've shared this out, I've never not had a client use it, because it's just so simple for them to click in and understand what's going on. So like I'll load, progress pictures and daily photos up there, and then they know without even, talking to you or calling you or texting you what's happening daily on their project. And obviously they love that, because it's, it's a lot of money they're spending for your service, and they want to know that stuff's happening and kind of see it all in one snapshot. So that's what this does for them.
Great. Have you had any issues with your clients being able to like embrace the technology? Any upfront when you need to walk through, or is it pretty intuitive and pretty simple for your clients?
It's actually very simple, very intuitive. I think what helps is, as all my leads, I market only through Houzz Pro platforms. And so they all have a Houzz account. And so when they can have a simple link with everything already on Houzz, they trust it. They're willing to just open it up and use it. And it's been really helpful. So that's what I've been loving about it.
Great. And I also like the professionalism, just even with your logo and your branding. I know some pros have clients that say like, oh, did you create this custom software? And for you, obviously, that's not, you're in the business for a different business, but to have this professional look and feel and have your clients really feel like you're taking care of them, I think is so important.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And that's why, Houzz also built out my website too. So they were able to basically link my Houzz Pro page with the website. And so, whether clients are on my website or my Houzz Pro, dashboard or whatever, it's always kind of the same branding, the same message. So it's really nice.
That's great. And one of the things I'm most excited to talk about, because I have a couple experiences I used to run an interior design firm, know a lot about running construction firms as well, is change orders. And you might not be excited, Bryan, but this, as much as I am excited about this, because this is something that I think can get pros in trouble if they don't do it right? Because you're asking for more money, and you have to get the signature, and you have to get that funds from the client, and you need it fast because you're in the middle of the project. So tell me how you're using change orders.
So, and I do, every project has a change order. It's just, you try to plan as best you can at the beginning, but like stuff comes up, delays happen, products go out of stock, whatever it is, it's like you always will have a change order and you have to adjust the numbers. And so what's nice is it pulls from the estimate you already created, but you can create your own. So like this one, you go in and create new, or you can go in and see previous ones. Like on this one, it shows exactly the whole estimate that you built out. And you can go in and highlight and change exactly what a price increase was, or a material or labor increase was, and save it in there. And then you can preview and share with the client so that they see exactly what was changed. Again, it sends an email, and they'll have the link from the email to click on, but they can also go in their dashboard and see the change order as well. So both are super simple and really clear to read, because it says right at the top, change order, the dates it, and then shows exactly what was changed. Yeah, so they can sign it too, and saves it under your files.
Great. And then the best part is, obviously this is a silly change order for $8.71. I know, right? but the best part is that you can ask for online payment from your client. And I think that speeds up the process for you, because you don't have to wait for the check to come, the 15 days, the blah, blah, blah. You just have the money right in your account 2 to 3 business days, and then you can go ahead, make the purchase, and move forward with the project.
Yep, exactly. And it's your guys' payment platform is so efficient. I didn't even realize they got paid. A few times I was like, I have to go check in and be like, wow, they saw it in an email, they paid it, it was done. And I didn't have to chase checks or do anything. So that was incredibly helpful. So like I can do a quick example here if you want me to.
Yeah, let's see it.
So if we add an item, just do a quick change in the change order fee, because I, do change order fees for $50 if it's a client one versus me. So material cost increase maybe was $12 per square foot, and be 50 square feet that changed. This would be square feet. And then the labor increase, if they're $30 an hour, I do markup just, probably don't actually have to mark that up because the markup's already included in the overall one. So it just shows that we upped the material cost for this 50 square feet for the backsplash, which added extra labor. So our total is $2,100. We can do, whatever your tax rate is on just the material alone, and no markup on that one. So here's my total. And then I can just preview and share. And then it's all ready to go in an awesome format that's super professional with my logo or, someone's logo. And I can send it out to the client right here. And I can always send a copy to myself, so I have it, or I can export it as a PDF. But either way, if you do it electronically, then they can sign electronically rather than, having to print out and sign. But so then that'll go out to them, and you'll see it as an unpaid item on the project dashboard. And then they'll be able to see, oh, I have an unpaid item I have to pay. And then once they pay it, it'll show paid on there. And then they can do it directly with the credit card right on Houzz.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. So the workflow is super streamlined and super efficient. The money comes into your bank account, you get paid, and then you're ready to roll. That's awesome.
Deposits straight to my account. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So we covered leads, we covered building your estimate, we covered getting paid online change orders. The secret sauce, in my opinion, is change orders. I don't know why, I'm so obsessed.
It's every project, why not, right?
Yeah. If you have a project that doesn't have a change order, I would be very surprised. And nobody likes getting asked for more money. So if you can do it in a pretty way, a pleasing way to your clients, I think it just makes it efficient for them to pay you and not think about it. Yeah. Awesome. So if you go back to the project, what else are features that you use that you feel are like secret tips and tricks that you can share with our audience today?
One thing I like is super customizable too. Like as things change, your addresses change, you can always go in and edit the client directly. You can put all the project types information in here. It's super user-friendly and simple. As things change, you can update the project as you go. I do love the follow-up feature. Like it says, like when you send an estimate, it says this was sent 20 days ago. It reminds you, you don't have to put calendar notifications or make notes or lists somewhere else. It's just like built in. Let's see, what else do I use? Probably notes is another big one.
Okay.
That's huge because every time I call a client, I make sure this page is up, and I will just, say it'll save the date and the time that I called. So usually just say if this was for a remodel estimate, and I'll just start typing out, and they'll just be talking. They'll be talking, I want this, 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 and this, new doors, new trim, and I'll just write down everything that was in the call and then kind of clean it up afterward. And it just automatically saves it there. So then every time you want to create something else, it saves a previous one, and you can always go back and see exactly what was on the phone call from the previous call. But then for any other notes too, like if you talk to architects or designers or whatever it is, it's like whatever your notes are, you save them all under this client right here. You can also do call logs. It's kind of the same feature. So you can just show a call was logged, what happened on this call, we had a good discussion, and you just simply put, what you talked about, and it saves it as well. So it's always the big conversation right now is lumber prices increasing. But, but notes and calls, it saves them right there. That's huge for me because my clients truly feel heard every time I can just bring back up exactly what they said from a previous call, and it just builds so much trust. So
I love that. I love that. How do you think, and what advice do you have for other businesses about why tools like this are worth investing and learning in? Because you're super efficient and fast. Like, I feel like you almost know the software better than I do. And I know you talked about how you attended one of our Houzz Pro academies, and you learned even more features, and you've adopted that. But what would be your advice to other firms that are looking to invest in something like this?
I mean, I think since everything is so technology driven these days, like if you can incorporate a platform that is intuitive and simple for yourself, but also if you have an assistant or somebody else, you watch like 1-2 minute YouTube video on a feature on Houzz and you just know it. It's like there's not a huge learning curve with this, and it's for the software and the leads and the advertising and everything, their prices are incredible. You can't really beat them. So I like I said, I only use this now and QuickBooks, for everything, and it's streamlined everything for me. So that's why I like it. So
that's awesome. And what other, how do you leverage the other pieces of Houzz Pro? I know you obviously mentioned you use the marketing portion, and you also are part of our trade program. How has that in sourcing helped your business as well?
Obviously, like when clients are already building idea books and things like that on Houzz, they can share that with me directly. And then I have a huge snapshot of exactly what they want on their project because they love these photos. And so from there, you can also convert it into products and be able to get, discounts when you're ordering stuff for them directly through Houzz that are in those pictures sometimes. So it's like, you're not just building something similar to what they want. You can really give them exactly what they want. And I think that's been really beneficial.
Totally. And like you said, this has also helped you save on not having to hire an admin person because you can really leverage technology, which means you make more money at the end of the day. Yeah. You want to deliver that great experience and be profitable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I'd love to make it a family business too. And so, my mom can use this platform versus having to hire some super advanced tech person that I can't afford. It's like, anybody can use this platform. It's really simple.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bryan, for your time today. To recap, it really seems like Houzz Pro checks all the boxes for you. Tools to manage projects and deliver a great client experience, targeted marketing and brand building to build that client trust, and tools to help you close the deal and easily convert leads to projects, which for me sounds like a win-win, right?
Yes, 100%. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today, and really, really amazing to hear your story and your journey to increase your profit and deliver such an incredible client experience. We look forward to showing you all more soon. So thank you so much, Bryan, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.